He was a billionaire without a business. A man with private islands, secret flights, and connections that stretched from Wall Street to the White House to Buckingham Palace. His name? Jeffrey Epstein. In 2019, he died in a jail cell, officially suicide, but the world didn't believe it, because his story had too many secrets and not enough endings. Welcome back to Hidden Files, the channel that investigates the shadows beneath the headlines. Today, we're diving into one of the darkest, most disturbing, and most powerful stories of the 21st century: the rise, crimes, and mysterious death of Jeffrey Epstein, and why so many believe the truth was buried with him. Jeffrey Epstein's story doesn't begin with wealth, it begins with questions. Born in Brooklyn in 1953, he dropped out of college, started as a math teacher at a private school, and somehow ended up at Bear Stearns, one of the most powerful investment banks in New York. Within a few years, he was gone, not because of failure, but because he was mysteriously valuable to wealthy clients. Then came Leslie Wexner, the billionaire CEO behind Victoria's Secret. Epstein became his money manager, power broker, and fixer. But no one knew exactly what Epstein did, only that he always knew the right people and had access to everything. Over the next decade, Epstein built an empire of secrets. Properties in Manhattan, Palm Beach, New Mexico, Paris, and his crown jewel, Little St. James, a private island in the U.S. Virgin Islands. It was here and in Palm Beach that the darkest part of Epstein's world began to surface. He wasn't just rich, he was recruiting. Dozens of young girls, some underage, were brought in under the guise of massages, modeling, or favors. They were told not to speak, paid in cash, sometimes intimidated. At the center of it all, Ghislaine Maxwell, his confidante and recruiter. Together, they created a machine of exploitation and silence. In 2005, one victim told her parents. Police in Palm Beach began investigating. They found more than they expected. Over 30 young women, some as young as 14, came forward. But when the case hit the prosecutor's office, something changed. Epstein's legal team, including Alan Dershowitz, struck a deal with federal prosecutors. The result? A non-prosecution agreement that gave Epstein 13 months in a private wing of county jail with work release privileges. He was allowed to leave 6 days a week, no federal charges, no real consequences. The man who orchestrated the deal? Alexander Acosta, later appointed as U.S. Secretary of Labor. When asked why he approved it, Acosta said, "I was told Epstein belonged to intelligence." But why was Epstein protected? Look at the names around him. Bill Clinton flew on Epstein's jet over 25 times. Donald Trump partied with him in Palm Beach. Prince Andrew, later accused in a civil lawsuit. Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Ehud Barak, Les Wexner. The list goes on. Flight logs, guest books, private meetings, sealed documents. Every connection was real, and every denial came after Epstein's name made headlines. Were they friends, clients, victims, or something else? While the media focused on Epstein, the women he abused began speaking louder. Virginia Giuffre, Maria Farmer, Sarah Ransom, among the many who described a system of psychological manipulation, silence, and control. Many said Epstein didn't just act alone. He created an entire operation, using power, blackmail, and fear. Still, for years, nothing happened, until 2019. In July 2019, Epstein was arrested at a New Jersey airport. His Manhattan mansion was raided. Inside, a locked safe, tapes, photos, CDs labeled with names, stacks of cash. Diamonds, fake passports. Prosecutors said this time there would be no deals, no work release, no escape. Epstein was denied bail. He was placed on suicide watch, then taken off suicide watch. His cellmate was transferred, and the cameras outside his door malfunctioned. On August 10, 2019, Epstein was found dead in his cell, hanging by a bedsheet, alone. The medical examiner ruled it suicide, but independent pathologists said otherwise. Broken bones in his neck, hyoid fractures, consistent with strangulation. 2 guards fell asleep. The footage vanished. Even those who believed he might have taken his own life couldn't explain everything else. The internet exploded with a phrase, "Epstein didn't kill himself." In 2020, Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested. She was charged with trafficking and conspiracy, and in 2021, convicted on 5 counts. But her trial was quiet. No cameras, many documents sealed, names redacted. To this day, we still don't know what was in Epstein's blackmail files, who else visited the island, why were certain names removed from the public record. Jeffrey Epstein is dead, but the questions he left behind aren't. Was he working with intelligence agencies? Did he build a blackmail empire? Who protected him and why? What if the real story was never about sex or money, but power? Epstein may be gone, but the machine he built, it's still hiding in plain sight. The files remain sealed, the victims still fighting, the secrets still protected. What do you believe happened? Let us know in the comments. And subscribe to Hidden Files for more true stories where silence speaks louder than truth.